Thank you, Mr. Chairman. CEO Bisignano, thank you for being here this morning. I'm really excited that we're getting to talk about how your work at the IRS is making lasting impact for the good of the American taxpayer. We talk a lot in this committee about the amount of money that the taxpayers are getting back because of the substantive decisions that we've made. But I think it's also important for us to talk about a lot of the process-oriented matters that your office is taking advantage of to make the process better for taxpayers and to provide better service for them. So thank you for that. As you know, congressional Republicans are working to modernize all of the tax enforcement and dispute resolution matters, but I'd like to specifically talk about the latter part of that process. My bill with Ms. Sewell, H.R. 5349, the Tax Court Improvement Act, passed out of the House last December, and it gives the tax court clearer authority to sign subpoenas, obtain discovery and evidence before a hearing, streamline judicial review, and hold tax court judges to the same disqualification standards as other federal judges, all while improving security and civility in court proceedings. From your vantage point, here's my question as IRS CEO: how can these improvements in tax court procedures and standards help the IRS conduct more efficient, fair, and timely enforcement and audit operations? And are you aligning your modernization efforts, such as case management systems and litigation support tools, to take full advantage of these needed changes?
Thank you for the question. And, I think the tax code changes are a big deal for us. I think, this is all end-to-end process. And our ability to, in every step of the end-to-end process, make improvement, both with your help and technically we'll get better outcomes. We're maniacally focused on taking time down, and I appreciate your comments earlier, because the fact of the matter is we've been able to give the American public time back with all the modernization we talked about, or transformation of allowing them to do 40 million more queries online this year than last year. And it's all part of the same equation, helping the American taxpayer.
Yeah, there's lots of improvements to be made, and your office under your leadership is doing that, so thank you. I want to shift focus to a more specific tax enforcement issue that has plagued the IRS the last 5 years: the Employee Retention Tax Credit. A recent report from the GAO published this month confirms the massive scale of the crisis that you inherited, noting that the IRS has processed nearly 5 million ERTC claims totaling approximately $283 billion as of June 2025. Shockingly, the GAO found that 83% of those refunds, roughly $235 billion, were not even issued until years after the pandemic ended, primarily because the Biden administration was so unprepared to assess improper payment risks or process the surge in claims. Here's my question. The GAO report specifically criticized the IRS back then for not allowing key risk management principles and for failing to even produce an estimate of improper payments as required by law. As CEO, how are you using your new staff redirection and modernization tools to finally quantify these improper payments and claw back the billions of dollars that the GAO suggests were paid out to bad actors and ineligible claimants?
Yeah, we had about 1.5 million outstanding. That's down to 29,000, so that was the ability to clear it all out and accurately. Earlier, I talked about a risk management meeting, and that discipline is to go at all GAO comments, all IG comments, and solve the problem. And so, as we get together on Fridays, this is on the to-do list of things that have to look back, and there's fraud, waste, and abuse in here, and our job is to deal with it.
One other thing I'd like for you to put on the to-do list to end my time today: I want to reiterate on behalf of a number of the companies in my district the importance of the factory floor research that's routinely excluded from qualifying for the R&D tax credit. Something that my colleague Congressman Kustoff raised with you. This, along with the compliance burdens companies face due to inconsistent interpretations each year, are stifling innovation. And that's not what we want. It's not what you want. It's not what I want. I know it's not what this committee wants. So I would just urge you to look into that matter, that factory floor research and its inclusion into the R&D tax credit. So thank you for your time. Thank you again for being service-oriented and oriented towards the taxpayer, bringing more value and efficiency to the taxpayer themselves through everything that you're doing. So thank you. I yield back.